Hi everyone, welcome to this new video. Today we will start with some air layings with very interesting maples. Let's get started. This is the first Deshojo maple, Ukigumo maple, Katsura. Here I still have left some of the coral bark. Oridono Nishiki failed last time, so let's just check it out. And let's also check if that's the most interesting part of this tree. Little sneak. These are all my other maples. Arakawa, coral bark, trident, that I'm not sure. To Arakawa more, trident maple, the red maple. And as you see, spring is there and they're all growing. So this one is my Deshojo Japanese maple. I bought this one last year from a hobbyist, and what you see quite clearly is the trunk down below is quite straight and that part is interesting. So what I will do is just put an air layer somewhere over here and hope let's get some backbedding down below so we can use that in a later phase. So there we go. This knife is quite sharp, so try to be a little bit careful. Quite easily. So that's the top of the bark. Now we just scrape a little bit just to prevent that it colors over quickly, and we don't want shortcuts so the roots will form quite easily. Just getting everything out which is looking green. So this should do the job. Some rooting hormone on the top layer because this is the part where the roots will probably formed. I use a gel, but powder could work as good as a gel. Yeah, this should fit quite well. So let's prepare this one. Quite a bit of sphagnum. Let's see if we can fit it around there. Yeah, that should do the job perfectly. Then I'll put some wire down below just to keep it together. And I'll wire the top part. Maybe I'll put 2 more wires, maybe just to close the top a little bit more. And one in the middle to just strengthen it a little bit. I'll wire it from in between just to close that gap. And then somewhere around here. The top one is closed as much as possible. I'll still water it. The middle one is just there to prevent it from opening, and these are the mechanical holders. So that's the first one. I think my Deshojo can now go into the garden. So this is just a regular nursery, Katsura. The base is quite interesting. It does look like it's not grafted, so which is quite good news. I think all the rest we need to work on. For the air layer, this part is the most interesting. We have quite a few trunks with quite short internodes over here, so I can choose to put it over here. So then we get a twin trunk, or I'll put it over here and then we have a little bit more. Let's see what's more nice. I think that's could be interesting. And looking from this side could also be interesting. I think I just take it from here. We will have a twin trunk base and the top we will probably take off later on. That's the rooting hormone. The top side of this one I couldn't close because it's a multi-trunk over there. That's number 2. This one is the Ukigumo. What you see here we have very long internodes. I think this palette is quite interesting, but I won't air lay that today. This is the part where it's grafted. You still can see it quite clearly. It will colors over. I think this one I'll keep for next year or maybe year after. For now, I think, which is very interesting, I have here in between a very nice clump style. So that's where I put the air layer on, down below this, which will be quite a challenge. I will first start with some cleaning up. We have some dead stumps over here from prunings before at the nursery, probably just to make life easier. I'll take them away. That's the first one. We have one which is here in between. And we have another one over here. This way, probably it will bother a little bit less when I'm air layering. I think this bud I can remove because we have already quite some trunks and this one is just growing down. Then we just start. This Ukigumo will be probably quite a project. We will see what time brings us. Probably next winter I'll try to do some wiring and preparing for the next air layer. But for now this plant will be just a donator. We will try to get as much air layers as possible. So just a bit more speculum than the last one. I think this one will need it because the construction will be quite open. That is number 3. I wanted to air layer this one as a whole tree, but what I see is the grafted part is not that strong yet, so I don't want to take off the top now. You can also do it possibly in 2 parts, but let's first make a plan in winter time, and after that we will see. This one is the coral bark. As you see, the branches are red. This part is the grafted part and the back side not. The top I already air layered and this survived, and so we had a very nice start for a multi-trunk or a clump style. In last video we prepared this one. We took off the branches over here. I'll just take a little bit out of here because I don't want too much of the original rootstock to be there. Just the top, it's already quite dead. The nice thing is we can close this later on, so I'll just take out. It's very hard to get sight completely on this one. Yeah, that should do the job. Let's put some rooting hormone around, also on the top. This one is the most critical. I hope it survives. I could do this differently and later on take the green part off. A third wire just to keep the middle part closed. This one try not to do too tight. So that's number 3. So here is the air layer of the Oridono Nishiki, which we put last year on. This one did not succeed so far, so let's open it up and let's see what's down below. This branch was dyed last year. Oh yeah, it had roots, but it was not a success so far, so maybe I was a little bit impatient. I think the wire just completely grew into the trunk of the bark. I pulled it out now. Yes, it is. The wire and the plastic, the trunk has grown, swallowed them. Maybe this part was not the most interesting part to air layer off after all. I just took a point just above the graft, but if we look at it now, I think this part could be quite nice, this twin trunk part. This is very nice, and all the rest is just not good, not visible yet. So let's just give this one another year. For now, just put an air layer on this part. We have quite short internos about that. I think that should be a part where we can work with. That was the last one. So that was it. We air layered. Let's see. This Oridono Nishiki coral bark, Katsura, this Deshojo, and of course this Ukigumo. Let's see what we'll get out of them. I'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.